Welcome back, everyone. Wilde Willy here with stage 21 and our final episode of our OP and early DLC walkthrough series. Yes, this is it. We are going to be fighting Moog. This is the end. There's one more thing we want to get set up. We talked about it in the last episode. We want to get you set up with a different farm in Mogwin's Palace that'll be hopefully a little faster than the bird, which is going to involve the Star Scourge Greatsword, which we don't currently have the stats to use. If we two-hand our weapon and drink our physic, we should have 40 strength, so we should be able to use that. But we don't have the intelligence, so we need to run and grab the intelligence, not crystal tier, so that we can put that in our physic, and when we drink it, that'll give us 20 intelligence, and we will have enough intelligence to wield the weapon and do the Ash of War, Starcaller Cry, which should be able to take out the Albinurics a little faster than we can do the bird. So we're at 78 FP, that's our magic, our mana, the right-hand column if you're looking at character status. The Ash of War takes 20, so the very first point that we're gonna want to get, and we can even bird farm to do it, that shouldn't take too terribly long, is we want to get our mind up a little bit. We are gonna have to put on lighter armor, so we can put on the blue hood, and that'll give us another point, so we can use the Ash of War 4 times. Because our Bloodhound Fang weighs 11.5, and this is a heavy boy. It weighs 20, so we're gonna have that armor that we've been working so hard to put on, our beautiful drip, the Crucible Tree set. We're gonna be taking a lot of it off so that we have the stats. We're not heavy rolling when we go into the farming round. So we did get the bell bearing. We got a couple. We turned those in. Now when we go back over here, we can see we can buy smithing stones to level up a regular weapon to plus 12. And then we can purchase an infinite supply of Sombers 3 and 4 here. And you can get an infinite supply of Sombers from E.G., the blacksmith, south of Carria Manor. On the road to Carria Manor, you can buy an infinite supply of 1s and 2s. And we're going to be hopping over there next because that's where the intelligence tier is. The Somber Bell Bearing 1 is over here in the Celia Crystal Tunnel. There's a Falling Star Beast, a baby one, that's the boss. Kind of a pain in the ass. We should be able to beat it up. The dungeon itself is kind of a pain in the ass because it has the pest thread dudes, the little centipede guys, the servants of rot, and they're kind of a pain. It's kind of a pain in the ass dungeon to run through. A couple of things you would have to take out and run through to get there. So again, for purposes of simplicity, since you can get an infinite supply of 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, we're just going to stick with that. So this is where E.G. is, the road to the manor, like we just said, just south of Carria Manor. And this is where we're going to start. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of run over kind of through the edge of the ruins and drop down over here, and then we're going to kind of run up over here, and there's going to be, it's just going to be ground loot. It's going to be a shiny. It's going to be guarded by some get rid of our other marks, guarded by some handsies. There's going to be a big one, and then there are going to be some little ones patrolling around on the ground. But you should be able to just kind of snatch it and grab and run over here to Diagro. If you have to, you can run all the way to the ravine side of Grace, and then you can warp out once we have that. And then we would head to back to EG or back to the round table to level up the Star Scourge Greatsword to, I would recommend +6. +4 doesn't really do it. We have a 5 and 6. We should have extra. Let's just double check real quick where we're at. And there's one other thing we can grab from EG real quick while we're here. So talk to him. So now that we've done the Ronnie's quest line, we can purchase the Carrion Filigree crest. This will allow us to lower the FP consumed by skills. Example, including the Ash of War that we're about to use. So let's put that on. And then we can, like I say, purchase infinite 1s and 2s. He does have a limited number of 3s and 4s. So, up until that point, you could come here until you're bought out of those. And then you would have to get the rest from the Twin Maiden Husk. Let's go into our inventory and see where we're at with smithing stones and sombers. So we would need to, I've got 5 somber 5 and 2 somber 6s. We do have another 7, but we don't have any more 8, 9s, and 10s. There are other places you can get them in the capital and beyond. But, that's beyond the purposes of this walkthrough. So like I said, if you've been following the walkthrough, we should have the exact number that we need to get the Star Scourge Greatsword up to +6. So let's go ahead and do that. But let's grab the intelligence here first. So we're going to run through the ruins, or around the edges of the ruins. The little teleporty guys might pop out and shoot at you. There's some wolves over here. Down there is the underground area. It's like an invisible thing that you roll over, where the little ruins boss is. And that's a good place for you guys to test out your heal, because there's a revenant in there. We talked about that in the last episode. We bought heal from Brother Corwin at the round table. We're just kind of running north, keeping the cliff wall to our left. The mark is kind of an approximation. I think it's a little further on. So it's right, it should be right over there. You'll know you're in the right spot when you start seeing the little handsies around. All right, so there it is, and you can see the baby handsies, and you can see the tips of the fingers of the big one. He's gonna try to ambush us when we come through, so I'm just gonna heal up from the chip damage that I took, and just sprint over, and I missed. And there, I got it, and now we just wanna head for the lake over here to the east. And all we're doing is just getting away so that we can warp out. We get far enough away, we should de-aggro them, and you should be able to pull up your map and just warp out. So let's warp back to Round Table Hold. Alright, and I only have 10,000 runes, so we'll see how far we can get leveling this bad boy up. We want to get to +6. We might have to farm the bird a couple times.
Wow, I took you for no matter, it's all lay out your arms then.
Okay, so we want to find our Starseer's Greatsword, and all right, that's as far as I can go. I'm at +4, so I'm going to need about 7,000. So you can pop some runes, you can farm the bird. Since we're here and in the interest of time, I'm just going to pop a golden rune. Hopefully that'll be enough.
Back already, no matter.
Find it again. And if you get tired of looking at this other stuff that you're not going to use, you can sort chests and put it away. I'll show that function in a minute when we get to the round table. So +6. Okay. All right, now we need to see about what kind of armor we can put on. And I'm going to show you this real quick for the newbies. You can go down here to sort chest, scroll on over here to your weapons, and then you can put away anything you aren't planning on using. All right, so that's it for now. I'll just leave the other stuff here. This is the guy that we want to equip. So go to equipment, put this on, we lack the attributes to wield it effectively, and we are heavy load. So the first thing we want to do is go put on our Navy hood. And like I said, that's going to bump our mind up a little bit. It's going to give us 82, which we want because we can use the Ash of War 4 times instead of 3. Okay, and we are still heavy load. So we need to start going back to some lighter equipment. All right, so there we go. We're still at 51 poise, which is nice. And we were able to do that with just the Carrion Knight, Gauntlets and Greaves, and the Navy Hood, and we can still keep our Crucible Tree Armor on, which is nice. Okay? So now what's going to happen is we need to rest again, and we need to go to our Physic. And we have the Strength and the Dex tier. We need to take that out, and we need to find the Intelligence tier and put it in. The Strength tier we're going to keep in for when we fight Moog, but before we fight Moog, we are going to be putting on the Purifying Crystal tier, and this is going to shut down a lot of the boss's BS. He's going to be spamming a spell called Nihil to start his second phase, and that's going to do a ton of blood loss buildup. And you know, without this, you're basically using 3 entire healing flasks to prevent yourself from dying. With this, you can just go up to the boss, watch your health bar, wail on him while he's doing the spell, get in some more damage, build some more posture damage to get a posture break and a critical attack, and then, you know, maybe you have to heal up once. So Strength and Intelligence tier. Okay. So let's go to Mogwin's Palace, and we want to do the Palace Approach Ledge. This is where our bird farm was. Okay, so now we want to two-hand our weapon. All right, and so I want to kind of, you know, visualize, walk you through the run. Basically, for what we're doing, there are 2 groups of Albinaurics that we're going to farm, and then we're going to come back. You can do more, but it's not terribly efficient. It does greatly increase the risk because, you know, we're kind of squishy now. These guys hit reasonably hard. This is an endgame area, so we want to head for that first guy. And we got 1 over here, 2 over there, that guy, and it should pull in these 2 or 3 doing the Ash of War. And then we are going to run down the hill towards this second group. It's going to aggro the soldiers. There's going to be 3 of these red-hatted dudes who are soldiers, who are very dangerous towards us, and we're going to do the Ash of War for a second time. So what we want to do is, you see the red X when you look down here in the left-hand corner. I lack the weapon attributes. So I'm going to drink my flask, and then we're going to test it out. Can we do it? So that's what we're doing. And the test is, do we have enough even two-handed with our Physic to do damage? And we're going to find this out in just a second. We might have to farm up some more strength using the bird. So again, drink your Physic, switch over to your blue flasks. Don't lock on to anybody. Just run down here, and we're going to go boom, boom. All right, so that worked. And then we're going to run down here. Watch out for that guy rolling around. The spikes will hurt really bad. All right, you want to drink your flask again and immediately do the Ash of War again. Okay, and that's it. That's all we're going to do. We've got a couple guys rolling around. I don't care. I'm just going to run back to the Grace, and I'm going to rest. And you'll notice I have 34,000 runes from just doing that. So if you see, looking here, level up, I have enough runes. So what I'm going to suggest is, we're at level 74. This is going to allow you to level up more. So my level 92 character, I think the difference was I had more dex, which I don't think we're going to worry about here. I don't think I had more faith. I can go back and check that episode, the very beginning episode, but you know, the stats we kind of want to work with. Another point of endurance would be fine. Another point of mind would be fine. And then, you know, we kind of want to, you know, pump up a little bit more strength. Because the way the soft caps go, they're at like 20, 40, 80 for strength. And when we two-hand our weapon, that gives us 30 strength, and we drink our physic, that gives us 10 more. We're at 40 with the first, the first real soft cap after 20. So that gives us enough damage there. But, a little more is better. I think I had 30 strength. More vigor is good. So let's just go ahead and put a point into endurance. It's just going to give us more stamina and more equip load. Like I said, a couple more points of mind aren't going to hurt. And one more point of vigor. So those are going to be our final stats. I'm going to pause the video now. I want people to get to 42 vigor, 12 mind, 28 endurance, and then 20 strength. And kind of from here, our dump stats are going to be more strength and more vigor, because more damage is always going to be good. So if we're going into fight mode and you're dying, you want to get some more in, just like pump strength to like 27, 28. Two-handing a weapon, that will give you, 40 strength right off the bat. And when we drink our physic, that'll get us at 50. And then, more vigor is always good. We want to be able to stay alive. So I'm going to pause the video here. Everybody needs to do a little farming. You really, honestly, you only need one more point in mind. Take off the Navy hood so you don't have to wear that if you're doing this farm later on. If you want to grab a couple more points of endurance, we can do that. Let's go ahead and do that. So 1 point in mind, 1 point in vigor, 2 points in endurance, and then we will meet back here at level 79, level 80. Okay, let's do it. All right, so we're back. I want our stat to go a little higher. So I'm at 42 vigor, 12 mind, 30 endurance. I put a couple points into strength. I want to get 4 more points into strength to get us to level 85. That'll give us strength of 26. Two-handed, that'll be 39. Right near that first soft cap at 40. Drink our physic, that'll get us right around 50. A little more damage is always going to be good. Plus, I wanted to show you, in case you're struggling a little bit, you're dying down there, a little bit of a safer way to get this done. So let's just do that real quick, and then I want everybody to get 4 more strength. So drink your physic. We're going to head down the hill here early. We're not going to aggro that guy, so we want to start right here. It's going to leave those other people out of our grasp. We should be able to finish everybody there. I'm going to drink my blue flask, replenish my mana, and then I want to take out this guy to the left, the one who just aggroed. It's probably going to take a couple. The nice thing about this Acid War is it pulls people close and then pushes them away. So these guys, they're the dangerous ones, and there's 3 of them in this next section. And that's what I mean. It gets a little sketchy, so we want to try and take those guys out before we start aggroing a lot of the red ones together. So that's a little safer. I'll try and do it one more time. Let's see if I can level up. Not quite. Drink physic, change to blue flask, run down, get that one guy to aggro, start coming over. And we're just doing the Ash of War twice here, and it's going to knock them away and give them a chance to refill. And then we want to start pulling in these other guys. 1, 2, 1, 2. Drink our flask, make sure there are no survivors. There are. That's why we're doing it a 3rd time. And I'm just spamming the Ash of War button, that left trigger, okay? And then just gonna run back. You can warp back whatever's faster. So gonna pause the video again here. Let's see where we can level up. If I can get 1 or 2. 24 strength. So go ahead and finish that off, and then we will move on to start tackling Moog. All right, so welcome back again, everybody. If you have leftover runes from whatever you were doing during our farm to get your level to our stats, which we'll go over again one more time, go to the round table hold, buy stuff up until you're out of runes. I got another stone sword key. I loaded up on kukris, and I had 21 runes left, so I bought a single arrow. Anyway, I think I have 1 rune. So we're going to go over here from the Palace Approach Roadside of Grace, where we were doing our farm, over to the Dynasty Mausoleum midpoint. Okay, and you want to switch back over to your Bloodhound's Fang. You want to put back on all of your Crucible Tree armor set pieces. We are going to rest at the Site of Grace, and we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to go to our Wondrous Physic. We're going to get rid of our Intelligence Knot tier, and we are going to put in the Purifying Crystal tier. Been following the walkthrough, you should all have this. You're going to need it. You're going to want it. It's going to be a bad time without it. And the other one is our strength tier. In terms of our flasks, you're looking at our flask charges. We have 10 and 3. That's going to be fine. Okay. There's maxes we're going to get. We want to go down here to memorize spell, and we are going to, I didn't get it, so let's go grab it. We want to go get Dragon Ice. You should have killed Grail, so you should have enough to get a dragon incantation, so we're going to go run and do that. All right, so we want to head over to the Church of Dragon Cathedral. And let me get my bearings. We want to head over here to this altar, examine altar, and we want to pick up this one, Dragon Ice. So go ahead and pick that up, and then we will meet back in Mogwin's Palace. Dynasty Mausoleum midpoint. So now we are all set up. We skip back to that episode where we killed Grail. I was showing you all how you could farm Grail, but I did not farm Grail like I did the Gold Pickle Foulfoot and took the runes and rested just to show that it worked. But I didn't go back and kill her because I didn't want to get more levels, which would have disrupted the walkthrough. Like, I would have had more levels than you guys and would have been like, hey, what the heck? So we want to go to memorize spell. We should have plenty of extra slots, and we want to go down here and we want to put on Dragon Ice. We have our 15 Faith and our 12 Arcane, so we can do that. And then stat review again. In terms of status, we are level 83, 42 Vigor, 11 Mind, 30 Endurance, 24 Strength, 18 Dex, 10 Intelligence, 15 Faith, 12 Arcane. This should be your loadout in terms of spells. We have Flame Cleanse Me. We're not going to use that. The two important ones are going to be Blood Flame Blade and Flame Grant Me Strength. Blood Flame Blade is going to increase our bleed. We are fighting Moog, the Lord of Blood. More technically, we could call him the Lord of Blood Flame. Because he does a lot of flame damage and he does bleed. He is not susceptible to fire damage. So like my favorite weapon, for example, from the base game is the Blasphemous Blade. Not a very good choice against him. That's why we're going with the Bloodhound's Fang. So the flame part of Blood Flame Blade isn't really important, but the blood buildup, it's better. And for those of you that are wondering, it lasts longer and is more effective at blood loss buildup than blood grease. You'll see people do Moog fights where they're like, oh, blood grease. Blood Flame Blade is better. It lasts longer. It has more blood loss buildup, so it's just better. Okay, and then Dragon Ice, the only reason we have this on is so that we can try and proc Frost on him. And we're going to talk about that in a second. We're going to let our Mimic use that. It's available to us. So when we go in there, what we want to have set up when we summon our Mimic is this. We want our Mimic to look just like this. We want the Claw Mark Seal enabled. We want Dragon Ice ready to go. The Mimic's job is to run around and hit stuff. It will also use the Blood Flame Blade if it gets a chance. And we want it to try and proc Frost. If we get an opening, we can unload with that as well, which is why Flask-wise we're going 10 and 3. We really don't need 3. So our buffing routine is going to be pretty much this. You drink the flask, you eat the boiled crab, you're going to cast Golden Vow, which we haven't done up until this point. And this is after you summon the Mimic, okay? You got plenty of time. Moke's going to be crossing the arena towards you, so you have plenty of time to get your buffs up, okay? So we are going to cast Golden Vow, switch back, cast Blood Flame Blade. That was the Ash of War, sorry. So we want to do Bumper, and then we want to go to... We don't have enough, so let's drink our flask. And then we want to do Flame Grant Me Strength. Okay? So that's our buff routine. Then you can switch back to your Turtle Shell Shield, put it on. That's going to be fine. So Flask, Crab, go in, summon Mimic. Set up like this. Okay, then we want to switch to Blood Flame Blade. Drink our flask, eat our crab, do Blood Flame Blade, do Flame Grant Me Strength. Let's not worry about Golden Vow. If you're having trouble, you can add that in, but let's just keep it simple. Let's just keep what we've been working with. Let me rest completely and get rid of this. Gonna make it morning. So again, this is where we want to be set up when we go in. All right, so those guys aren't going to aggro. We're going to take the elevator right here. There is a Stake of America, so if you die, you can respawn right outside the boss arena. If you want to go back to the Site of Grace, you got to come over there and hit the elevator lever to bring the elevator back down. There will be a fog wall. If you come back here and die, there's still plenty of time for you to buff up inside the arena, okay? So when you get in there, it's going to trigger a cutscene. I'm going to cut through that, and we're going to do our thing. So remember, summon Mimic, looking like this. Then we're going to drink our flask, eat our crab, refill our health. We're going to do Blood Flame Blade, and we're going to do our Flame Grant Me Strength, and then we are going to get into it. The fight itself, I'm going to talk you through it while we're doing it. If we one cycle it, great. If not, you know, like, we'll have a couple chances to talk more about what happened and what's going on. So let's go in, trigger the cutscene. So there he is over there. Drink your flask, eat your crab, summon your Mimic, refill your health, Blood Flame Blade, went right past it, Flame Grant Me Strength. All right, two-hand, and now we're going to get into him. Blood Flame, you see that does a lot of damage. I might even die here. Did not, so we want to avoid that. All right, and then again, not a scripted fight. Stay away from the blood in front of him. We're just R1 spamming, okay? Try to stay out from in front of him. Circle around behind him whenever you get the chance. And we're just R1 spamming. Now he's doing knee heal. This is the point where you probably want to heal up, and then you just want to keep hitting him to negate his healing. And he's going to start flying around, so you want to try and get damage in. Get away from that. He has range, by the way, on that thing. Waiting for the flames to go down. He's on Mimic, so we're going to run in and wail on him some more. All right, I got flames, so I want to back off and heal. And now let's get in, and hopefully we can finish him off. That was unfortunate. Stop running around. That's what I mean by he's got range. Again, so very conservative. Alright, our Mimic is dead, and so are we. So you see how we got close. We got really close that time. So we're going to do the Stake of America, and we're going to repeat the process. We're going to see if we can sneak in. So again, here for the Mimic. Sneak in Dragon Ice this time, maybe. Okay, so Flask. Crab. Summon Mimic. Health. Blood Flame Blade. Flame Brand Strength. Two-hand weapon. Two-hand. Alright, and now we're on him. And we're just R1 spamming again. And you get hit, you want to back out of there, and you want to heal up. And try and stay out of the flames. That's the biggest thing. That's the thing that's going to do the most damage to you. We just got a bleed block on him. Watch your stamina. So he's going for nihil. I'm going to let my stamina come back. And then I'm going to go to town on him. Roll. Oh, I missed the roll. I might be dead. Get away from the explosion. Roll away. More healing. Again, R1 spam. Spam, spam, spam. Come on, come on. And he's dead. So there we go. All done. One last thing. Oh, come on. Inventory, Gold Pickle Foulfoot, use. Get that Gold Pickle Foulfoot in. And there we go, 655,000 runes. And when you come over here, it's gonna be deja vu all over again. Going back to the very first episode of the walkthrough. Go ahead and touch the grace. Rest, and when you come back and you talk to the NPC,
I'm Leda. Touch the
talk to Leda.
Like us, if you can find them. Come, I will not be found.
Touch the withered arm. Head to the realm of shadow. Mount up on Torrent. Ride out of the little cave that we're in. Come out here to Gravesite Plain. Touch the grace. And ladies and gentlemen, we are officially in the DLC. So that's going to wrap it up here. A couple of quick notes for you. If you are having trouble beating Moog, these are the stats that we ended up at, level 83. At the start, my character was level 92. I think the difference is I might have had one more point into mind, and then I think I had more strength and a little bit more dex. So let's see, 9 points. Yeah, I think I had 4 more strength and maybe 4 more dex, or no, I had 30 strength, 20 dex, and 12 mind. So really, if you're having trouble beating him, you just want to be leveling vigor and strength, and hopefully you can take him out. Because like I said, not a complicated strategy, simple buffing routine. Get in there with the Mimic, stay on him, avoid the blood flame, heal up every chance you get. When he does nihil, get in there, let your stamina regain, heal if you need to, and then just start pumping more damage, and you should take him out. So thanks everybody for coming along with me on this journey. I hope you have a fantastic time. The next series I'm going to be doing is going to be a DLC setup series where we're grabbing Revered Spirit Ashes and Shadow Tree Fragments, Skidoo Tree Fragments, to power up our character in the DLC the same way we did here. Unlocking all of the maps, getting Shadow Tree Fragments, and getting ourselves leveled up so we can tackle the DLC.